These are the AudioQuest Water XLR Interconnects, and I don't want to take them off the system, but I'll definitely post a still picture of them so you can get a better look. They have the AudioQuest DBS system, and that's this right here, this little little box here, and if you press it, you can kind of see. If I press one of these here, it has a battery tester. You just press that, and the little LED lights up to tell you that the batteries are good. The batteries last for years and years. But anyway, these are the newer replacement model to the AudioQuest Columbia interconnects, and they make them in RCA as well as XLR. And I know there's going to be a lot of people that say, oh, cables don't make any difference, you can't hear any difference or anything, it's all BS, but I'm one that definitely hears subtle differences in cables. And when doing a direct comparison between these and some cheaper cables like from Monoprice, I definitely hear a difference. So these sound a lot better, a lot less grainy in the highs, more distinctive bass with better bass impact, and also smoother mids that seem to be a little bit more forward as well. So overall less distortion. These cables are made with AudioQuest solid copper cables, what they call their PSC Plus, which is perfect surface copper cable. So the copper is actually refined, you know, for audio purposes. Also, as it's formed, it comes out directionally too. So in other words, AudioQuest does tests. They do listening tests, and they make the cables have the signal flow in a certain direction for better audio quality. There's not a whole lot of difference between these and the prior version, the Columbia, except that these connectors are now, it's plastic. And I guess they found that the metal connectors actually did change the sound or the impedance of the cables. So now they're using like a polycarbonate, you know, connectors on the ends here. Of course, you know, internally the pins are still the silver-plated copper and all that. But the DBS system uses a battery, and what it does is it basically keeps the cable broken in all the time. Most listening tests have found that most cables, just normal cables, don't actually start sounding real good until an hour or two after they've been played for a while. And this eliminates that problem, so that right when you turn on your system and start listening to it, these cables will, you know, stay consistent in terms of the way they sound, and don't take an hour or two to improve with signal going through them. So anyway, these cables are kind of expensive. These are the 1 meter long cables. They retail for something like $500 and something. I don't know if they're really worth the full price, to be honest. But if you can find them at a discount, you know, they're definitely a good cable, and they're certainly better with the DBS system here than the ones without the DBS. So, you know, basically I was looking for cables with the DBS system. I wanted to give them a try, and I'm very happy with them so far. And so I just wanted to do a short video on them. They're definitely sounding quite good in my system here, and I'm liking them a lot. Again, it's the AudioQuest Water XLRs. And yeah, if you think they're BS, I don't mind hearing that you think they're BS, you know, but everyone has to use their own ears to make a determination on whether or not it's worth it to you to get expensive cables or not. In my case, I definitely hear a difference with these, and I do like these cables quite a bit. I mean, if I was going to get cables, I do like the AudioQuest DBS system. I think it does make a difference, but if I was going to get cables without the DBS system, I would probably go for something like cheaper than even AudioQuest. You know, something like from Blue Jeans cables or something, for instance. But with the DBS system, I think it's worth it, you know, in terms of getting the AudioQuest Water or equivalent models with the DBS system. The batteries last years apparently, and it takes, each one of these little housings takes 6, I think they're 12 volt, little 12 volt batteries. I think they're the A123 batteries. So there's literally 6 of them in here. If you open this up, it takes like a little small little Phillips screwdriver, and you open this up, there's like, you know, 2, 2, and 2, you know, 6 batteries in there, but they last years. So really a sweet sounding cable. I think I'm giving these about 4 out of 5 stars, and I'm knocking off 1 star because of the fact that they're so expensive and pricey. But if they were a little bit cheaper, maybe in the $200 range or $250 range, I would be giving them 5 stars. Also note that yes, it does look kind of ugly in the way that it's set up now because the cable is a little bit too long for, you know, the way that I have it hooked up here. I'm going from my Cord Hugo TT into the Cavalli liquid carbon amp, which is just right next to it. So I could stand to have a shorter cable, but I got the 1 meter because it provides me some flexibility for future expansion or whatever. If I ever get bigger equipment or, you know, get a rack or something like that, it just enables me to have a little bit of more flexibility in where I place my equipment. That being said, it's a little bit ugly with this big loop, you know, these 2 loops here. And I don't want to stuff them back there behind there because I don't want to stress out my connectors. I found that if the cable is kind of stiff. So if I find that if I push these cables down and stuff them back there, it kind of stresses out the connectors here and stresses this out too, on this side, to where it actually wants to lift up the amp. So the cables are, you know, that thick. So I'm just leaving it as is. It's, you know, I mean, it's a little ugly, but it's worth it to me. In terms of how they sound, they just sound so excellent. So I'm just trying not to touch them and just leave them as is because I don't want to stress out the ports, you know, the XLR ports. So, and you know, if you think that they're not worth it, or if you think that interconnect cables don't make any difference, that's fine. I really believe that each person has to make their own decision and listen for themselves, whether or not they can hear a difference. Believe me, I don't like spending money any more than anyone else, and if I didn't hear a difference, these would have definitely gone right back. But you know, I could save a lot of money by using just cheap monoprice cables or something like that, but I definitely really do hear a difference with these, so I'm keeping them. And also see links too. I'll post links for more information on all the technical stuff on this cable because I don't like to get too technical in my video. I mean, yeah, I could just regurgitate a lot of the information on the AudioQuest website about how these cables were designed, how they're engineered, and how they work, and all that kind of stuff, but I would just be reading off their website, and that's something that people can look up for themselves if they want more details. But I'll post a link to some of that technical stuff in the description field below. See you in my next video.